that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
We will build a great wall along the southern border.
But you're still the generation in charge of the world, and the time is still yours.
Education Year 2, Ross Hay here, and I'm up in Elderslie, and today I'm going to be finding out what the Elderslie City Council does when it comes to renovating things such as the local play park and adding new things such as the streetlights.
Introduce yourself to the people that are watching our documentary.
Well, my name is Linda Macmillan and I am the chair of Elderslie Community Council. I've lived in Elderslie for 7 years now, and I've been part of the Community Council for about 18 months now. Mm-hmm. Well, I was interested in what they were doing in the community, and I wanted to go along to the meetings just to see what they were about and what they were doing. And the opportunity arose to become more of a part of the community council, and I thought it would be a good chance to make a difference in the village, and maybe get some new things for the village, because it's been forgotten about for a long time.
Okay.
They're been some instances in that where people have disagreed with what we've done. One of those examples was dog fouling is a big issue in the village, and with the council's help we received some stencils and spray paint to stencil on the footpaths where dog fouling is an issue. And it's just a reminder for the person to say, you know, are you picking up after your dog? And we put photographs of that on social media, and a lot of the comments we received were quite negative, and people didn't want to see that. They thought it was making the problem worse rather than making it better, and they just didn't like it.
Do you find yourself being discouraged by the criticism that you face?
It can be discouraging, and also at the meetings we've tried hard to get people to come along and just see what we're about, and it's very difficult to get people to come along. We'll advertise it on social media, and we'll put posts. We've got a notice board so that we can let people know what's happening as well, but we still don't get very many people coming along to the meetings. And it's trying to figure out a way to make people want to come along, to make it seem as if we're doing good things, and that's why we want to try and do things that are visible to people, so that they can actually see, because a lot of the things we do are actually kind of behind the scenes. You know, where a resident will complain about something, we'll email the council about it, and then it will get fixed, and people don't really see that. So there's a lot of things going on in the background that we do that aren't really visible, but then there's other things that we've done, like the planters in the village or the Christmas lights, that are really visible, that people can see, and it's tangible, and then that's the kind of thing that we're looking for, to try and encourage more people to come along.
So how do you go about things like the planters and things like the Christmas lights? These needs that you see, are these things that as a community council you identify yourself, or do you have residents that come to you and will say, oh, I feel like this needs to be done, or this needs to be, you know, attended to? Are these things, or is it a mixture of both? Like,
it is a mixture of both, the planters, I was very keen to get the planters done. I'd seen the planters being put in Linwood, and also in Houston. Their community council have a very active group that do things like that, and I thought that it would be a really nice addition to the village. And we applied for a grant from the Flight Path Fund for that. And we were lucky enough to get money for the planters, and a pagoda, and obviously the flowers and things. So that was really good to get that. But then other things have been maybe, you know, a new bin that someone's looking for, or and that'll be a member, you know, that'll be a resident that asks for something like that.
Good. So the criticism and the discouragement that you just touched on there, how do you overcome that?
You just remember the positive things that have happened. You know, the first year we had a Christmas fair and we didn't have any Christmas lights, so then the next year when we had the Christmas lights, it was just really, really amazing. We get such great feedback from that. The village felt like it was buzzing for weeks and weeks, and people kept saying, I keep looking at those lights and they're so lovely, and you have to think back to those things to, you know, to know that you're doing a good job.
So I decided to come by the park today. It's on the street where I live, so I'm quite familiar with this area, and what it has, and more so what it doesn't have. So we come up these stairs from the street, and here we are. This is the park here. So it's not in great condition, we don't really have a whole lot over here. These black patches that you can see are from people burning cars and stuff on bonfire night. So sections here you can see where play park apparatus used to be and no longer is. And then we have a couple swings, emphasis on a couple, there's none there, some more burn marks, and then we have a couple baby swings over here, just blank spaces, and there's quite a lot of broken glass. It looks like we have some rubbish and stuff around here as well, just not in great condition.
I think it needs, like, there's the swings, but 2 of them are broken, and then there's glass everywhere. I think they need like slides and stuff, like what they have, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think that people would use it if they were to do
Yeah.
it? Okay. Would you use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's a banana plant. They say that that's only for the people who live at this Alders bit. So like people kind of complain when we're there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's far.
Yeah. True.
Because it's like round the corner from her dad's house and it's round the corner from my house, so it's kind of easy to get to.
Yeah.
And when our mum and dad were younger, there was like like the spinny things and like more things like shoots and stuff for the park.
It does have 3 parks in the village, and I use the term loosely. There's a piece of land with a swing on it or 2 swings on it. That's the parks that we have. So we knew that it was something that was needed in the village, and there's a primary school here, and there's a lot of children resident in the village. So we knew that was something that Elderslie Elderslie really needed. And we asked on social media for people's opinions, and a lot of the residents think that it's really needed in the village as well. Initially we thought we would go to the lottery for a grant, but because the council own the land and they would look after the park once it's installed, the lottery were a bit hesitant about giving us any money. So that was quite a big disappointment for us, because we thought that the lottery would be our best bet, really. But then luckily enough, just recently the council had decided to make a parks fund, and we've applied for a grant from that to see if we could get some money to put some things into the park. Well, we've done a couple of things with the school. We do a Team Up to Clean Up every month, which is a council initiative about litter picking. For the Christmas fair, we had the children from the choir coming along and singing some Christmas carols for us. So that's really what we've been involved with the school.